Welcome back to 843 TV. We are here now with Mr. Channing Heiss. He is here to talk about the Sea Island Ferry Task Force, and he is affiliated with the Benya Foundation. So the Sea Island Task Force, correct? Sea Island Ferry Task Force, excuse me.
It's a mouthful, I know.
It is an outgrowth of the Benya Foundation. So today you wanted to talk about the vote that was taken on November the 6th on Daufuskie. It was about the special tax district and how that would affect the funding for the ferry. Can you tell everybody about that?
Right. There was a vote on whether to establish a special tax district to fund a new ferry service. It was voted down actually by about 60-40. The people over there decided they wanted to go in a different direction. And what we're doing right now is we're trying to figure out what that new direction is and what the relationship is going to be between their effort and our SIFT effort, which is basically here on the island, here on Hilton Head, and geared toward a regional framework for the ferry system. So we're trying to figure out that relationship. We're excited about working with them, and we'll see how it goes.
And when you say SIFT, that's just the acronym, Sea Island Ferry.
Right, because Sea Island Ferry Task Force is such a mouthful and such a tongue twister that we just shorten it to SIFT, because if we didn't, it would drive everybody nuts.
So what is the relationship with that effort and SIFT?
Well, we're actually in the process of figuring that out. After the defeat of that ballot initiative, we're kind of regrouping, they are kind of regrouping and saying, okay, where do we go from here? And we've been meeting with them and other groups to figure out, okay, how can SIFT, which is basically geared toward a regional model, work with the Daufuskie people? And I've really been encouraged by the response we've had. We have a great relationship. It's been a very positive atmosphere. We're trying to figure out who does what and how we can work together to make this ferry system not only happen for Daufuskie, but happen for our entire region.
So then, Channing, what is really for SIFT? What is the next step? This obviously you're going through the steps of this process. What is the next step for developing a viable ferry system?
Right. Well, it all started, actually, SIFT has existed as an idea and an entity since late 2009 or early 2010. It started out as a concept on paper, and in our minds we wanted to make available a wider ferry system. We have a lot of component parts right now. We have a lot of tour boats and all of that, but we had a dream of creating a regional ferry system, and it came out of that. This past summer, this organization had a couple of stakeholder meetings, or interest meetings, if you will, basically focused on figuring out whether there was a lot of support, a lot of interest in this kind of a program, and we were very happy to find out that there is. Right. Not only did a lot of people show up at the 2 interest meetings that we had over the summer over at the library, but people have been calling us, people have been calling me, people have been stopping me in various places on the island saying, when it comes up, they say, this is a great idea and it's long overdue. We're really excited about it. We've needed it for a long time. What we're doing now is trying to have more interest meetings, more stakeholder meetings, inviting more entities in, whether they be private sector, government, that kind of thing, just inviting everybody around the table to discuss how we go forward organizationally. It started out as interest meetings, but now we're shifting to a more organizational framework since we know we have the interest already and that people do want this to happen.
Well, I think when people first hear about it too, that you just assume that it only affects people who live on Daufuskie, which really isn't true at all.
Right, right. They had their own individual issues with their ferry service. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to go into great detail with that. But it would be great if we could create a situation where everybody kind of wins. I mean, if we have a regional system, obviously Daufuskie will be a major part of that, with a Daufuskie Hilton Head run, perhaps a Daufuskie Savannah run, and it's all going to be tied together. What we're dreaming of is a situation a few years down the road, and this is not going to happen overnight, a few years down the road where we have an entire regional system that could go perhaps even across 3 counties, you know, Chatham County, Beaufort County. We're talking about even Jasper County, Hardeeville, and even all the way to Beaufort, and who knows at that point. We don't know really how big it'll get, but you have to start somewhere. We're going to build it piece by piece and
absolutely,
see absolutely. Very good. Well, Channing, clearly, you know, there's a lot of work going into making this happen. But let's talk about some of the other things that SIFT is doing. Tell us about the Christmas mingle that you guys.
Yes, we're really looking forward to this. This is going to be a lot of fun. We wanted to create kind of a fun, informal way that people could learn more about the ferry system. So we decided to hold this Christmas mingle. It's going to be at the Main Street Inn on December 20th from 5:30 to 8:30 in the evening. Like I said, it's going to be low-key Christmas party kind of thing, but we're going to have a little bit of an informal presentation on where exactly we are, what the progress has been. We'll talk about the interest meetings over the summer. We'll talk about some of the research that we've done, about funding, logistics, previous programs that have been done across the country, and give everybody a chance in kind of a free-form, casual way to discuss it, share ideas, ask questions, raise concerns, and just basically have some holiday fun while we're at it.
That sounds great.
Now, quickly explain. You guys had an Autumn Fest, in November. Quickly tell everybody what that was.
Right, the Binya Foundation sponsored their annual Autumn Fest. It was the 8th time they've done it. And a couple hundred people attended over on Defusky. It was a great time. They had an oyster roast and they had music and various things like that. It's an event that always goes over very well every year, and we're looking forward to continuing it.
Cool. So if anybody wants to find out more information, they can go to the binyafoundation.org.
Right, the binyafoundation.org. We're in the process of setting up a SIFT website, but SIFT has a link on the Binya Foundation website.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
And join us next time for more 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.